There isn't a week that goes by that I don't have a conversation with a medical resident, and invariably during the course of that conversation, the topic of what receipts to be kept comes up. So let's talk about what you need to keep to be ready for when CRA audits you. You'll notice in the introduction I said when CRA audits you and not if, and it's just a matter of time because we submit all of our records electronically to the government, and so when they want to verify information they will come back and they'll ask you to prove the charge that you've claimed or the expense that you've claimed. So in order to make your life as simple as possible, what I encourage people to do is to put as many charges, as many expenses as possible on a credit card. Don't spend more money than you need to, but if you are going to make a purchase, try to keep track of it using a credit card. The credit card is the basis for your bookkeeping system. And so if possible, keep it to one credit card because it will only make your life simpler, as you'll see as we go through this. So I keep all of my receipts. And when I say I keep all of my receipts, I mean just that. I keep everything. Sometimes people will ask me, well, I'll just keep my business expenses and I'll throw out the others. And the problem with that is you may not know a business expense from a personal expense. So my advice to people is that you actually keep all of your receipts. I do that just as a force of habit. I don't do it because I claim everything. I do it just so I never have to worry about whether or not I have a receipt. So my practice is I put as much as I can on this credit card to the extent that a vendor or a professional association will take a credit card, and then I keep my receipts during the course of the month. And then at the end of the month, I get an email that lets me know my credit card statement's ready, and I go and print it out. And the first thing I do after I print it out is I look at it. I make sure all the charges that are there I agree with, there's no fraudulent activity. And once that's done, then I take out all of my receipts and I fold up that credit card statement and I put it in, and I put both of those in an envelope. And on the front of the envelope, I write the credit card itself, and then I write month, year, and underneath that +7, and that gives me the year that I can throw out that envelope. And the final thing I do with that is I take that envelope and I put it in a dark place. Why am I telling you that? Well, because these receipts fade. And if they fade and they can't be read, CRA won't accept them. So my suggestion is you go through this process to keep track of your receipts and you keep them for that period of time. Keep them in a drawer or in a box. And as it reaches its expiry date, as you've seen on the face of the envelope, throw it out. All right, but keep them until that time. The other question I'm asked is, will CRA accept a scanned receipt? And the answer is yes, they will. As long as it's legible, they'll accept it. I find that personally it's an extra step, but if that's your system and if that works for you, then that's great. But it will be accepted by CRA. All right, so that's a quick overview on what to keep for a CRA audit. Hope you found this helpful.